Yeah, and our fun week continues with Jayson Stark of the Stark Report, a programming alert, the MLB Network Countdown 2020. Did you see that? Coming up after the holiday season, January 10th, 6 Eastern. You know, it's an idea that Jayson really is the godfather of, because for many years he has documented the wacky and wild occurrences of a baseball season, kind of post-mortem this time of year. So, Jayson, we've not only ripped off your concept for a long time, we've taken it the next step by re-involving you in something you invented. Good morning.
Good morning, Ben. Yeah, the strange but true feats of the year. That's a thing for me.
It's a thing for
you.
you.
I'm strange.
So before you and Matt dive into that, Jayson, had you always thought of things like that, even when you were a kid, that were just out of the ordinary?
Yeah, Howard, I don't know what's wrong with me, but, you know, my mom always told me I should write a book and call it I Never Saw That Before, because that's just my thing. I watch baseball. I think one of the favorite things for all of us about it is you see stuff and you say to yourself, wait, I never saw that before, or when's the last time that happened? I'm one of those wacko people in the world. I ask that question, then I try to figure out what the answer is. It's a rough gig.
We all benefit from that wacko tendency of yours. And but even back in the day, remember newspapers? Remember what those were?
Yeah.
When Baseball America, Jayson used to write about some of this wackiness. And so we're thrilled to be able to do it with you today on TV. So let's get right into it from this season. And I mean, we could, as you have pointed out, we could do hours on this one play alone. We'll identify 4 plays. You tell us, among the craziness here, the Brett Phillips walk-off in Game 4 of the World Series. Dive right in. Why was this so crazy?
This is the strangest ending to a World Series game, maybe ever. And here's my thing. Don't you think that Brett Phillips is the least likely player ever to do what he did there? Let's think about this, okay? He hadn't had a hit in a month. He hadn't even had an at-bat in 2.5 weeks. He hadn't driven in a run as a pinch hitter in 3 years, and he had never gotten a walk-off hit. And then with 2 outs in the 9th inning, he did this. Now, let's try to recap what this was. I have to think it through carefully before I describe it, but it's the first time that on the last swing of the bat in a World Series game, with 2 outs and 2 strikes in the 9th inning, that a loss changed to a win since Kirk Gibson in 1988. And the guy who did it hadn't had a hit in a month. Tremendous.
It's amazing.
Wow.
There's so much meat on that bone. It's a fun one. So we all watch that. Everybody remembers that. There are a lot of these plays that you've identified that I guess were more obscure, including a game on the 18th of August between the Padres and the Rangers, where there's a fly ball into the right field corner. Is that Manny Machado that makes the catch? What?
That's exactly what I said. Manny Machado, if you're scoring at home, is the third baseman. So that's a pop to 5 in the right field corner. And I don't know how you guys react when you see something like that. I'll tell you how I react. I think, come on, that's never happened. So I reached out to my friends at Sports Info Solutions and said, has anybody ever caught a ball that far from where they're supposed to be standing? And they dug into the data. Now, look, we don't know whether somebody did it in 1883. The StatCast data is a little sketchy from then. But here's what they found. Manny Machado caught that baseball 300 feet from third base, where he's normally standing. And in their database, let me ask you the question. How many times do you think anyone has ever caught a ball that far away from where they usually hang out? What do you think?
Including Cool Papa Bell? No.
No.
I would.
We don't know about him.
I don't know if ever that's been done.
No, that could not have been done before.
Yeah, never. Hey, here's another question. Why do we even keep score anymore? right? Pop
True.
the 5. That used to mean something.
That's true. You're
What do
right
we
about
now?
that. No insight at all from our old hand-kept box scores. That's such a good point. Let's take you to another game. This one, I think fans around this part of the country remember because whenever the Mets and Yankees play in a doubleheader, it's kind of top of the news cycle in the Northeast. That happened on August 28th. What made this walk-off so special?
This is a walk-off home run by the Mets. Where's the game being played, boys? In Yankee Stadium. So the Mets had never hit a walk-off home run at that point against the Yankees at Citi Field. They'd never hit one at Shea Stadium. But then they hit one at Yankee Stadium because, of course, they did. It's 2020. But that's not even the strangest part of this. Here is the strangest part. The Yankees became the first team to lose a game on a walk-off home run in their home park since the 1899 Cleveland Spiders lost to the St. Louis Perfectos on a walk-off homer. That was back in the 19th century. So we skipped the entire 20th century before it happened again.
Here's another oddity. It's the first time in hot stove history that the Cleveland Spiders have been mentioned in back-to-back installments of our program. They're in the news cycle, too. So without being too Northeast-centric, there was another Mets-Yankees game a little bit later on in the season last year, which I guess brought to light the newness of the extra innings rule.
Right. This is the 10th inning. We have the ghost runner on second base. We have a line drive double play to start the inning. All right, then what? We have a strikeout. So you know what we have there, boys? One of my favorite things about 2020, the old 2-up, 3-down inning. Remember when that used to be impossible?
I didn't get on my radar at all. That's 2 up, 3 down.
Yeah.
Right. There was a game earlier in the season. The Rays did that same thing. Joey Wendell was the third hitter due up in the top of the, I think it was the 11th inning. And he never batted. And he texted me and he said, has that ever happened? I was the third batter of the inning. I never batted.
So then, in the bottom of the inning, we had another bit of fun.
Yeah, this is that Peter Alonso with a walk-off homer. Now, guess what? The guy in his rookie year, the year before, hit 53 home runs. How many walk-off homers did he hit? That would be none. So this is the first walk-off home run of his career, and it was a 2-run walk-off to lead off an inning. How about that?
That's so good.
We're all mixed up here.
It's so good.
Again, let me just say, this is not the strangest part of the inning. Harold, how many batters total batted in the top and the bottom of that inning?
So they're the bottom. So I'm figuring, unless there was a double play earlier, like we saw, 3 hitters, 4
Right off
hitters.
the inning. No, the total was 2 in the top, 1 in the bottom. We had a total of 3 hitters bat in a complete inning, top and bottom.
Gee whiz.
It never happened ever.
That's
Remember when that used to be impossible? Not in 2020.
I love it. I love it.
That's
For
good
the record,
stuff.
too, I hope the extra innings rule sticks around, but that remains to be seen. All right, Jason, before we say goodbye, let's pay off the trivia question. Harold and I think we've got it.
Yep, DJ LeMahieu, 268 hits the last 2 years. Only one player in baseball has more. I want to hear it, man. Let's go.
Well, I said Altuve, but Matt kind of talked me out of my second choice, which I think we're going to go with, which is Whit Merrifield.
Whit Merrifield is correct.
Wow.
He had 8 more.
Nailed
Now,
it.
That's pretty
he
good.
He had over 100 more plate appearances, but that is good work by you guys.
That is really good.
Love it. Hey, Jason, great stuff today as always, man.